folks, this is Dr. Brian King on the road. Once again, I'm here in Aladdin's Lounge in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Just finished a comedy show here with my lovely co-host Minda Rella. How are you, Minda?
Hi, thank you so much for having me back. It's midnight again.
I know. It's like every time I do a comedy show at Aladdin's, you end up co-hosting a podcast with me.
Wrangle me into it.
And it's really late.
It's Dr. Brian King's On the Road at a Rest Stop.
Dr. Brian King's, and of course Sarah's here. This is kind of cool.
Woo.
Sarah, is my regular co-host. She doesn't normally do the Aladdin show.
So we have babysitters tonight, which I love.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
She's my kindred spirit tonight because we are both tired.
Yeah, we also in the room, Ryan Minton, everybody. How are you, Ryan?
All right.
Look at
Motley crew.
We got a bunch of people, but here's the star of the show. We're going to introduce. We're doing a special podcast interview with a wonderful comedian that all of us just got through sharing a stage with. It was a fantastic show. Minda, do you want to introduce her?
Oh my goodness, I can't even look at the right spot. I'm looking at you over the camera. I could not be more pleased and honored to know this comedian, Jose Mwamba, and I know I always say it wrong. She is one of the hardest working people in the business. She's consistent, and she's got a story. She's got quite the story to tell.
I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. Blues, women, and blues. I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere.
So Josie, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm actually I'm struggling to hold this camera. Actually, but no, we just finished a show, which I gotta say, as a headliner, you were amazing. You were awesome, and you seem to connect a lot with the audience today. What are you feeling about this show tonight?
I liked it. To be honest, I tried something new. Like I said, I haven't done a crowd work or impromptu crowd work show ever. I normally have people talk and during the show and I'll answer them back, but this time I gave the crowd an opportunity, like, hey, it's okay to say something back to me.
Mm-hmm.
I like the feedback that the crowd was giving me. I love the crowd, period.
Yeah.
They were just good. And
Well, you're a sold out room.
Yeah.
You were totally sold out.
Yeah, no,
tonight.
sold out audience. It was packed. And they were loving you. They were eating it up,
Right.
which was really great.
I wanted to be authentic tonight.
Yeah.
That was my main thing. I wanted to be relatable as well. It's Valentine's Day, like y'all know. And I thought teaching everybody about the 4 types of love would be pretty dope.
Yeah. What are the 4 types of love, just for the podcast?
So you have Eros, which is the romantic type of love that you share with your wife or your boyfriend or girlfriend or significant other, boo thing or whatever. And then you have the storage love, which is a love for a family member. Could be parent, could be brother, sister. And then you have Philia. Philia is brotherly love, like best friend type of love.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Agape, which is godly love.
I thought that was a sweetener from Mexico. Isn't that what they make tequila out of?
Guave. You talking about guave?
Guave, right? A guave.
That sounds the same. Guave.
Yeah.
Guave love.
Ryan had it right.
Agave love.
Where do they get these names from for this love?
Agape is actually a church term. Meaning godly love. So God loved the world overall. No matter what you do, you can go out and mess up 100 million times.
Yeah.
And still love you.
So that's like the ultimate love.
That's
I guess.
the ultimate love. Absolutely right.
Right.
But what we learned tonight was about my Eros love, my romantic love. That's what we was talking about tonight. Yeah.
We got some details. I heard a lot about dicks hitting clavicles.
There was a lot about like a large amount of dickage, claverage, clavicle situation.
There was
a big equation that I did not understand the math on.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm not used to hearing the word clavicle repeated over and over and over.
Bone.
Yeah.
Collarbone.
It's apparently a good place to rest a dick.
Yeah. It's the starting point right before you
It's
make
the starting point.
Yeah, right before you make your way to the mountain.
It's the launching pad.
There you go, the landing.
The landing. It's the
Landing
strip.
strip.
Yeah, there you
And I can
go.
actually find the clavicle.
Right.
Right, coming in hot.
Coming in for a landing. Yeah.
Right?
So
That was excellent.
that was it was a wonderful show. Obviously, you got a lot of laughs. It was memorable. You taught people some terminology about the bones in their body, and the
Most
different.
important, they learned about love.
Yeah, and a little bit about love. Yeah. How long have you been doing comedy?
12 plus years. January 13th, 2025 makes 12.
Wow, so 12.
Well, I say 12 plus because when I first started off, it was in 2009, and one of my friends from college, Flick Brown, excuse my language, I'm tongue tied. He was downtown doing a show, and I saw him, and I was like, I didn't know you do comedy. He was like, yeah, I've been on tour with Ricky Smiley.
Oh, yeah.
So he was like, if you think you can do it, come back next week. I'm having a show.
Oh, wow.
And I used to get toe up after work. You know how it is. After work, you go have a couple of drinks with your friends. So we're out there, and it's the end of the show, and he's like, I told you, if you want to go up, you can go up. It's your turn. I went back and sat down. I was not going to do it.
It's scary. The
Yeah.
first time was like really scary.
It is. It was.
Yeah.
It was
Because
so.
people will be like, you're so funny. You
Right.
can do this. You're like, oh my
Well,
God.
the very first time when he gave me that mic, I didn't say a word.
Really?
It took me like a couple
You're
of
standing
seconds.
on stage with silence?
Silence, just
Wow.
for a couple of seconds.
Wow.
And then it hit me. Say something. So I did what I normally, only thing I knew how to do. So I said I was African during my set. I did the accent.
Yeah, good.
Yep.
And that's the first thing I did when I did the stand-up. He gave me the mic. And I started talking about me being from Africa. And I started talking about African men hollering at me. Because I don't sound or look, I think I don't sound or look African. I have to tell people that I'm African. It's different, like I'm not mixed, so you can't tell I got that good hair.
So just so people know, when you say you're African, you're from where?
My dad's from Congo and my mom's from Ahoskie, North Carolina.
So that's how she's mixed.
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
triple A. I'm
Yeah.
African American.
Yeah.
All right.
I like to tell people I got my triple A card. You know what I mean? And not the old folks card.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
And I know you. Like, we go back a little ways. Like,
I already know where you're going.
No, you don't. Because when he was introducing you, he said you were on CSI.
Oh, you're talking about HBO True Crime.
Yeah,
HBO
True Crime.
What?
It's one of
When
her
were you on
credits.
True Crime?
So I did an episode of HBO True Crime, it's going on about 4 or 5 years ago. I had 2 extra roles in there. I was only supposed to be an extra for one part. But then I started being nosy.
Oh, that was a background credit?
It was a background credit, but it was worth it.
Okay.
It's HBO.
Oh, yeah, it's HBO.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's
yeah.
true crime.
We
So
all stream
the
it.
story is about a little girl who got lost in the mall.
Ah.
And I was one of the people that her father was asking, have you seen my daughter? There were 2 different parts in it. There was a part where I was in the mall as just one of the people who was passing. So that part, they show us passing and they show how people are going fast. How everything can happen fast in a second. How somebody can get missing fast. And then the second part is her father. They turned the mall into a Greyhound station, by the way.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
it's amazing what they
Yes,
can do.
I mean, in 5 minutes,
Yeah.
it was a Greyhound bus station, and I'm sitting in there in wardrobe, and they changed everything. So what I remember about it is the cameraman telling me, "Don't look directly into the camera." I'm looking directly into the camera. When the main character, her father, he has to walk up and he has to give me a flyer of his missing daughter. So when he does that, instead of looking at him, I look directly at the camera and take the flyer. They was like, cut, everybody, cut. It was so funny.
Wow.
They was like, ma'am, we need you to look at him. And then look at the flyer, and then put the flyer down, and then look down. So I had to do it 3 times before I got it right. Because the camera was
That
so
damn
huge.
extra.
This is HBO. I mean,
Yeah.
state-of-the-art equipment was in my face. I couldn't help but to
That's
look.
exciting, though.
Yeah,
That's
it was.
so cool.
It was exciting.
It's
I'm
always
not even
cool
gonna
to be on
front.
set. I mean, like, that's just,
I've
that's
only ever
just,
been on
no matter what, you know. Yeah,
HBO.
yeah, no, that's cool.
That's
yeah.
big stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got my credits in
Yeah,
that.
you got HBO
Yeah.
credit, you know,
Yeah.
but you've also you got some comedy special credits and stuff.
Yeah.
So you 12 years deep. You started on a whim. You stood at a mic saying nothing.
Yeah.
And and now here you are headlining fucking
Got a whole lot
Aladdin.
to
So, you know.
No,
Right.
but she works. Like you can catch her in Raleigh, and she travels. Like she
Yeah.
is always Atlanta, yeah.
Boston, South Carolina, DC, Virginia. All
But
over.
how did things really start to take off for you? You said you're a self-managed comedian. You know, so tell me a little bit about your career.
So, like I said, I met my friend, and after that, he started taking me around rinky-dink holes in the wall. I'm doing strip clubs.
We're very proud of them. Yes, we're very proud.
Yeah, I'm telling jokes while girls are walking in with their tits out. Guys are like, take it off.
Sounds like a dream gig, actually.
You know, it wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that bad. I took a little something out. I'm just playing. Take nothing off for no joke. But so what happened was I just kept promoting myself. Promoting, putting out videos. Every time I would go somewhere, I would put it out. I'll put my now booking. I have that out on my Instagram page and my Facebook now booking. And I would just, you know, spread the word, go out to different venues, I meet people, I go to open mics, I introduce myself, I will go to different events, even if it wasn't comedy. I'm going out to meet people and talk to people. By the time you know it, my name started circulating, my pictures on flyers started circulating within the local scene, and then it got out on by Instagram and Facebook, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And then we all had to experience comedy from your living room, comedy from your bedroom. I was still active during those times, still in it.
Did you do the Zoom shows?
I
that
did.
Were very popular.
I did, yeah.
Good
yeah,
for you. Those were
yeah.
tough. Those were tough.
Because you can't hear no crowd
audience.
reactions.
I hated those shows.
Yeah,
I
we
did
did too.
one, and I couldn't do anymore.
Yeah, it's a different type of vibe, but nevertheless, you still got to tell your jokes and stuff like that, and people were responding. I was the type where I tell people take it off mute. I want to hear your laughs.
Yeah.
So basically, I got myself out there by just promoting myself. Kind of what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
You know, after this show, actually I have a taping that I'm doing. I'm going to be on, I can't say the name of it, but it's like Rob Dyrdek's Ridiculousness.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to be one half of the host on the new show.
Yay!
Like, and our first day of taping is the 21st.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. You can get that
It's
on
pretty
Tubi.
sweet.
On Tubi?
Yeah, it's going to be on Tubi. Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. That's awesome. Yeah. And you got a comedy special that
On
people can
YouTube.
check out. Yeah.
Yes, YouTube right now is free. Go check it out. It's called She's Funny, She's Crazy. It's on my YouTube page, Jose Mwamba. That's spelled JOSEMWAMBA. You can find it on YouTube. Just go straight to that page. It don't cost you nothing.
And where'd you film that?
I filmed that in Zebulon, North Carolina. I went out to a spot, not smoking girls. They're gonna kill me for not being able to remember the name of their spot. They got shut down though.
Yeah.
And it was a real nice spot. I mean, really nice spot. What I did for 6 months, I would do shows there every week. I did an open mic every week. When I wasn't booked out, I would have my co-hosts come in and do the shows. I did that so the people there would get to know me, because I didn't know nobody there. So I had to build up the momentum for my comedy show. I'm also traveling, doing shows in other states and other cities, building up the momentum for the comedy show. Before you know it, in August, I had a sold out show.
Wow.
It was sold out. I just did it just promoting myself, just going out everywhere and running my mouth all the time.
Yeah.
Just meeting people. That's how you do it.
Yeah, and she did a really good job today,
She's
just promoting.
she's a
like
networker.
like after the show, comedians always hang out, meet and greet the audience, but she's just working.
They absolutely should. They know they
Absolutely, no, she was working it. I mean, she's taking selfies with people. Selling T-shirts.
Followers,
Yeah,
5
yeah,
seconds,
a whole
Thank
bunch.
you.
Like I love that during your set before you closed up, you're like, all right, you take out your phone and you add me
She
right
makes
now.
it, yeah. I will
Yeah.
type it in for you.
Yeah.
I need my followers. I love my supporters, man.
Yeah.
Like all of the people that follow me. I got 6,000 and counting right now.
Mm-hmm.
But every last one, I can honestly say, I have met them in some type of way, form, or fashion. If it hasn't been in person like we're doing right now, it's been over the internet or it's been out somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not at a venue where I perform. Like, I meet people in the street. I make them laugh. Tell them, hey, you like comedy? Follow me.
Yeah. You know, I bet you're one of these people, like, so one of the things that bothers comedians, and it doesn't bother me, but the attitude bothers me. When people say, "Oh, you're a comedian, tell me a joke," right?
We're not prostitutes.
So-
We're not prostitutes.
No. But see, that's what I'm getting at,
I
though.
already knew
That
you were saying
attitude
that.
bothers me because
No,
you need to tell that person a joke, make them laugh. You earn a new fan. You know, like if you. That's
You
the
know
thing.
what I do?
And what you're out there doing is that you're working the crowd, you're working the people.
People
you know.
usually
You
laugh
tell
before
half a
they
joke.
find out.
You set it up, and if they want the punch, they can come to the show.
They come to the show.
That's
I
how
can't
you
lie. Because I don't go to people's jobs and tell them, hey, you're not doing your job. Let
Right.
me see you flip that burger.
Yeah.
Let me see you put those fries in. I don't, it doesn't really bother me. It used to.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell the truth. It used to. Because I found it offensive. Because it's like, are you going to come to the show?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of promoting. You know how it is.
Yep.
We do a lot of promoting for our shows. You know how it is too, Brian.
Oh, I know.
And
I
Minda,
know.
you're a promoter. You know how it is. You're there. You tell people, hey, come out to the show. You give them flyer in their hand. And they tell you to your face, I'm going to come out. I'm going to support you.
Yep.
And lie.
And then they look at you. They next sentence. This is how you know they're not coming.
Tell me
So
a
when
joke.
is the show?
Yeah, when is the show?
Yeah.
You got the flyer in your hand.
You're looking at it. It's right there.
So for you to tell me a joke, no, come to see me
Do
on
you
fire.
ever shut people down if you see them filming you during set?
No,
Or if they're on
not-
live, if
no,
they're like
not-
showing other people or FaceTiming other people?
No, not yet. I need all the promotion. I
Yeah.
can get all the publicity. Film me, baby. Tag me, share it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
There
people
you go.
don't. Like, I've been in shows and
I have to, and it's for material purposes.
Yeah.
Right, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Well, if you're
Copyright
you're working out something that you're gonna sell somewhere, that's a little different. You don't want that being released early. You
No,
know, you're
yeah,
working on
yeah.
your album, you're working on your special, but you're just doing a club show, man, and people just are interested in you. Yeah, I mean, let them, let them
Right.
film a little. You
Yeah.
know, they're just trying to take home a souvenir. You know,
Right.
that's what they're doing.
They can
Trying
buy
to
a
take care
t-shirt.
of some- trying to
That's
take off
right.
some memorabilia.
Not everybody has T-shirts, Minda. I was trying to show up tonight with Girl Scout cookies. You know?
Oh,
You sold out.
I was
Hey, you're right.
I know.
We can buy them all.
Sarah, we were gonna bring some, and Sarah's like, "No, we're not bring them." So
Sarah, you should have bought some. I want.
I didn't
Oh.
want to be the one lugging them in here.
Do you have
I'll help
any
you
original
next
Girl
time.
Scout cookies?
Yeah.
I was gonna sell.
The butter ones.
I was gonna
Trifles.
sell them from
That's what they call it.
from the host. My host set was gonna be like, "Hey, I got Girl Scout cookies." But
I do that.
so
Like,
tell
I
me,
will shut some people down.
12 years. 12 years. That's
Yeah.
a long time. What's been some of your more memorable experiences in comedy?
Meeting the comics that you watched on TV growing up.
Mm-hmm.
The experience is breathtaking. You, man, like I said, I grew up. Most of my life was spent in a hotel room with my parents. So,
Wait,
if
you guys lived in hotels? So-
Yes,
Yeah.
all my life. I just stopped in 2008. So if you would have told me about 20 years ago that this would be me, and I would be meeting some of the comics that I've watched on BET, Comic View,
Mhm.
or Comedy Central, I'd have been like, nah. I've met Michael Blackson, perform with him. I've met Coca Brown. She's done Ted 2. You know that movie Ted 2?
Yeah.
She's done countless things. She's a Tyler Perry movie person. She's in all his movies.
She's a regular.
She's a regular in his
She's
movies,
a regular.
yeah. I've done shows with Chico Beans from Wildin' Out. I've done shows with, I just said Takara Williams. Takara Williams is an up and coming first comedian. She was on tour with Cat Williams, and she is the host of Kids Say the Darndest Things. Y'all remember that show with Bill Cosby?
Yes,
ma'am. Mhm.
She's the new host of that. So I go, when she comes here, she usually asks for me to open up for her. So when I said that story about meeting D-Ray,
Right.
things like that,
Yeah.
you know, after you just get off a show, and then you hear that you're getting ready to go hang out
Yep.
with another famous comedian, and you're just local, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you try to control it. You sitting there like a kid, like.
It's kind of wild. When you were saying that on stage, it reminded me of back when I was coming up in California, and the first time I met Carlos Mencia. You know, Carlos Mencia. You know, he's doing a show, and you know, suddenly, you know, we're hanging out, and next thing I know, he's like, "You guys want to go dancing?" You know, like
Was
after
he
like.
on the Latin Kings of Comedy?
I don't know if he was, but this was his own tour. Like he was.
I
So,
remember him.
yeah, so I'm a comic. You know, I got a connection that puts me in the loop with Carlos, and then next thing I know, like I'm watching him just shake his ass with his girlfriend on the dance floor,
Right.
and I'm thinking to myself, how weird is it that I'm at a fucking club with Carlos? You know?
The personal moments, right? The personal experience.
You mentioned Tiffany Haddish.
Okay.
Oh yeah. This is
So
actually
I'm in Montreal,
this is a good story.
Canada.
Uh-huh.
My daughter is still breastfeeding. I'm sitting there like this, going, "Who is this woman in the red dress, looking so beautiful?"
Yeah, it was during Just for Laughs.
Standing next
so-
to Tiffany Haddish breastfeeding my baby.
Those candid moments
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah,
I've actually got a chance to I talked to her over the
Yeah.
phone, Tiffany Haddish,
The craziest thing about that story is that neither of us recognized Tiffany. You know, this was early in
This
her
is when she was
popularity.
just-
You know.
yeah.
Getting started.
Yeah, and like the big name around the bar at that, like this was Just for Laughs in Montreal backstage, and the big name around the bar that year was that woman who
Hannah
did that.
Gadsby.
Yeah, Hannah Gadsby. You know, because she was getting a big
Oh,
award.
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and so but Tiffany was there also getting an award, but everybody's attention was on Hannah Gadsby. You know.
Uh-huh.
And so it just didn't even register.
Wanda
so
was there, too.
Wanda Sykes was there.
Okay, Juan.
My baby met Wanda Sykes in the elevator.
Oh.
But yeah, that's one a memory of Sarah's too. Is that the breastfeeding right in front of Tiffany? So Tiffany Haddish saw your boobs.
She's cool.
Basically.
She's cool with it, I'm telling you. She's
Yeah.
a cool individual.
But it's great,
Were you like, I'm
man.
coming for you.
Right.
I'm coming for you, Tiffany.
I want to meet her. Everybody. So when I not when I first started, but like along in my journey, and when her star was rising, you know, she was coming up real. Everybody used to say, "You sound like her. You look like her. We thought you was her." People
Yeah.
thought I was her without seeing. They hear my voice.
Yeah.
And they
Oh,
say,
yeah.
We
Oh,
thought you
yeah.
was Tiffany Haddish.
You're definitely your own person, but there's a
Yeah.
lot of similarity.
We do
you
have
know?
a lot of similarities. Both of us have fathers who are from Africa. Both of us have mothers who are African American, so that makes both of us mix. Both of us
Triple A.
stand up,
Triple A.
A's, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So you talk about being African, and you did the accent in the
Yeah.
show, but can we
Which
hear
I
a little
love
bit of
the-
that?
I love
Yeah.
the accent.
So the accent, it normally comes out. It's in me, but I don't have it. I wasn't born with an accent.
Uh-huh.
So when I do my shows, like I did a festival in New York, and when I came out, where was I at? It's gonna come to me. Midtown Grizzly Pear in New York, in Manhattan, and I came out on stage. And I said, "Hello, Grizzly Pear. How are you doing?" The crowd went crazy. And I started telling them about my last name. My last name means strong man.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mwamba means strong
Wamba
man.
means strong man. Well, right now they say it means peanut butter, but you know, that's neither here or there. So I feel like when I come on stage sometimes, I have to have this strong accent. And I don't have a strong accent. It just sounds country.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like my country accent. Can y'all hear it?
That'd be South African.
Yes. Oh, that was a good one.
Ryan is coming.
Nice.
That was
Ryan is
a
good.
one.
We're gonna have to do a podcast with Ryan one of these days. That's very good.
That was
Very good
I like
contribution.
that. We can take that. South
South
Africa.
Africa,
Yours
yeah.
now.
But
Nah,
I'm
use
Central.
it.
I'm Central African. To be
There
exact.
you go. And is the accent legit though, or is that kind of how your parents speak, or?
This is what my dad, he does.
Yeah, all right.
It's just something that comes out. I don't know how I'm able to do it so fluent.
Yeah.
And I'm around my people most of the time. So I can mimic people really good. for the most part.
Yeah, I get a Coming to America vibe
Yeah.
on that,
Yeah.
you know?
I
It's
got the
like-
Black Panther vibe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Black
Wakanda.
Panther. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wakanda for sure.
Wakanda forever!
Wakanda forever. You know, a lot of black people walk around, well, not from Africa, but when that movie came out, they was from Africa. Let me get 2 tickets, please.
Highlights of comedy involve some of the people you've worked with, but what was that festival in New York? That sounds kind of interesting.
Black Women in Comedy, Black Women in Comedy Festival. It was last year during the summer. It was ran by Joanne Briley. She is on top of her game right now. She just did a NBC special about her comedy festival, and it was lit. I had a great time. We did 5 spots in 3 days.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's great.
and Grizzly Pear was my favorite spot. It was really the crowd, mixed crowd, so awesome.
Yeah.
In New York, comedy is comedy, man.
That's right.
I mean, it's 24 hours in New York, and that's
Yeah.
one thing that I love. Those people came there, they was ready to laugh, they laughed, and they wore merch.
Nice.
I'm on the streets of New York hustling, selling merch, honey, for the
That's
first
awesome.
time, and it felt good. You know, I don't know, the free spirit of New York is everything. It's everything.
Yeah.
I enjoyed myself. I made a lot of connections too.
It's a good scene up there.
Yeah.
It's you know, it's not where comedy started, but it's definitely the mecca. You know?
It's definitely the mecca for comedy. You know, comedy actually started in Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
It started in Africa.
Comedy started in Africa?
Yeah.
How so?
You know, you had your kings and queens back in the day. They needed entertainment. So they would have I guess the poor come and entertain them. That's how it started. Everything started in Africa.
That's true.
Yeah.
Human beings started in Africa.
Yeah,
so if you really
absolutely.
the first joke was probably told in Africa.
Yeah. Get his ass out of here. It's not funny. Yeah.
So I don't know. You get highlights or
What's the worst
meeting
time?
these people.
What's-
That's
give
where
me
I
a-
was getting.
give me a low,
Yeah.
give me
What's
a
some
low.
of the
We're
worst
gonna get there
stuff?
faster. What's the worst? Tell me one of the worst.
One of the worst shows.
One of the worst experiences.
One of the worst
You're like,
experiences.
it could be a backstage, could be someone that you really looked up to, and you meet him, and you're like, oh, this guy, or gal,
Yeah.
or whatever. We've all had that. You
Jeez.
never meet your heroes, all right?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you. I got a story.
Oh, let's hear it.
So there is a big time promoter by the name of Bob Sumner.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know those.
You wanted to go there? Let's
No,
go
go.
there.
I don't know. Like, I know him through other comics.
I feel like Bob could have handled it a different way,
Mhm.
but he went about it a little sleazy when he met me.
Huh.
He started talking to me about other comics, like trying to get me to see what I knew.
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing. And then it went from that to see what I was doing for the evening.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah. Also,
It's so cliche.
I had another comedian, Faison Love.
You know him?
Yeah. I did a show with him at Charlie Goodnight. At the time, it was still Charlie Goodnight.
Yeah.
And after the show, what did we do? What did we just do? All of us. We just took a what? A picture.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You take a picture with the comic to show your work.
Right.
That's all we want at the end of a show, especially with a famous comedian. Now he was in the movie Friday. I see you got Ice Cube shirt on. Shout out Friday. Shout out Ice Cube.
Ryan knows how to read the room.
You know.
No.
So-
Ryan was preparing earlier just for this moment.
Just
in
for
time.
this moment. That's a dope shirt. I'll meet it after the show. after the podcast. So I go to the back of the club. He already left out. So I text him. I said, hey, what happened? You know, I just want to get a picture with you. He sends me a text back and says, I'm at the hotel. You know how I get back massages?
Oh.
Oh, that's sleazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I go to the hotel.
Hey, of course, yeah. What the hell?
Because I want the
Yeah,
picture.
you're not gonna pass that up.
No, I'm a vulture. I'll give you my picture. I slayed his stage in 7 minutes. Your feature did 20, I did 7, I did the same thing. He told me this was out of his mouth. These were his compliments to me. But this is also what he told me. He said, how do you expect me to give you what you want, but you won't give me what I want? I said,
The
touche.
picture?
Oh,
You wanted all that
that's-
for a picture?
He wanted all
Wait.
that for a picture.
Oh, we got
said, touche.
Photoshop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's like.
Touche. I'm out. And he had his shirt off. So that wasn't appealing.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah, that's I always figure
that's
like
one of the things that we go through as women in comedy and life too, period, which is unfortunate. But I think that's what stemmed from the Me Too whole thing. I don't like the Me Too because the man hasn't hit on me like he used to. I miss being cat called. I miss the cat calls. Shoot.
Turn off the camera.
I'm telling you,
Ryan, on me.
He's gotta be on more podcasts, man.
Ryan's off the chain.
I know.
ZZ Top beard.
Yeah, it's a good collection of comics I think we had tonight.
Yeah, the show was awesome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Shout out to 910, 910 comedy.
Producing these shows in addition to being my co-host.
This is not the first time she done had me in Fayetteville.
Right.
Oh yeah?
Minda had me on trolley rides, y'all.
Yep.
I was telling jokes at the front of a trolley. We did
nice.
2 rides. Well, the very, very first time was the Christmas show. And then I did so good that they wanted me to come back.
Right.
And we did 2 trolleys around Fayetteville back to back. And that was super awesome. I have never done comedy on a moving vehicle. So that was fun.
Wow.
Didn't know nothing about Fayetteville. But I acted out like shit, man.
She also had sold this room out before.
Yes,
This is your second
yes,
time
this is my
here.
second time at Aladdin's. Crowd phenomenal at Aladdin's. The people were awesome, man. We had this one Hispanic guy. He was in the military. He kept hollering out.
Tonight.
That's what. No, not tonight.
The
last
first
show.
time.
Oh,
last
I
show.
remember that guy.
Yeah, I mean, he was going in, and I gave him what he wanted each time. And he came up to me. He was like, "Yo, you can handle your own." He was in the military. He was actually.
He would not shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but he was like a high-ranking military person.
He was a lieutenant colonel.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's what made me do this show like that. The crowd work, talking to them, and just.
Yeah.
And this
I want
town
to do
is
that.
not a regular town because you have even tonight you had one side a whole back row military.
Yeah.
The whole other side of the room not military.
Military, yeah.
Mixed crowd.
I love
There's
mixed
all the
crowds.
races, all the
I love
genders,
that.
everything was represented.
And that's what I love about comedy. It brings everybody together no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, anybody got any last questions? We're at the point where we have to start wrapping it up. I try to cap these at about a half hour or so. Anybody got any last questions?
Ryan, you're killing it. What do you got?
Yeah, Ryan.
I got nothing.
Come on, man. He's got an Ice Cube shirt on.
You
though.
can't look directly at him.
That's right.
We're looking over here. He's killing it.
Right.
What do you got coming up? What are you looking forward to?
So I'm filming, like I said, I'm
Yeah.
doing an upcoming reality show on videos like Rob Dyrdek's Ridiculousness. Our first date is on the 21st. We will be shooting on the 21st. I don't know if we shoot monthly. It's a paid gig.
Oh, yeah.
I know that's
Yeah.
right. Get out there. And it's going to be on Tubi TV, so you can check that out. So my next show we're looking for is going to be in Lumberton. It's going to be March 15th. I'm going to be featuring
They got comedy in Lumberton?
Yeah.
On March 15th,
Yeah.
they do.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
March 15th. Shout out Pee Wee's.
Trey
Pone.
Pone.
Yeah, he's bringing
Wow.
Sean Marvin, and I'm featuring for Sean Marvin out there on the 15th of March.
Very cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Now, and how can people who are checking out this podcast, how can they find you?
You can follow me on all social platforms. That'd be Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Jose Mwamba. That's spelled JOSEMWAMBA. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and I'm on Twitter occasionally. Snapchat if I'm cheating. Cash App if you want to send me something.
There you go.
What's that? OnlyFans if you're freaky and you like toes.
Get a shot of the toes.
All right.
Shout out to toes. The toes is pretty now. They
Are we
toes.
talking? Are we really talking OnlyFans?
OnlyFans. I can get it started.
There you go. There you go. We'll
Listen.
start you right now, X. This is your first bit of footage.
Yeah.
Literally, it's footage.
Spit on it? God,
Well, I don't want
between the toes. There you
I
go.
don't
Get
wanna-
that right there.
I don't want.
What's going on over there?
I just missed it.
Yeah, he stood up a little.
No, I don't want to get to it. I don't want to use your material, but you did do a whole bit about having somebody with a foot fetish and stepping on their feet, or on their food, actually.
Yeah.
Which I
That's real
thought
life.
was hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, that's real life stuff.
It should have been
Extremely
spaghetti.
relatable.
Yeah, no, of course.
I know that's right. you better step on it.
Sarah stands on my food all the time. you know?
Sarah, you better march in it. She's like, I'm gonna try. You breastfeed in public.
That's right.
You better step on that.
Tiffany
big
Haddish is seeing her boobs, and you know.
It's a little bit of seasoning, extra seasoning.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all
yeah.
it is, Sarah. Extra seasoning.
Well,
I want to give a
Josie.
shout out. Can I give a shout out?
Yeah, give a shout out.
Okay, I want to give a shout out to 910 Comedy first. You know,
All
my
right, yes,
boss
yes,
girl,
yes.
Minda Rella. I call her boss because she's a boss. You hear me?
Thank you.
She's putting
Yay.
together shows. She's also juggling her marriage, juggling her family life. She's on the radio. That's the boss right there.
Thank you.
And she got me my radio interview too.
Juggling a lot.
I did,
Yeah. I also want to give a shout out to my family, my father, and my son. Shout out, Mr. Boo. Shout out, love you, Papa. And I also want to give a shout out to my friends and family who support me, my supporters, my awesome supporters. I got day one supporters, people that have met me in the audience. Shout out my friend Julie. That's my girl. She met me at a show. I was featuring for Coca Brown.
Wow.
Ever since then, she has been my friend, following me. She goes to shows with me.
Yep.
When I skip a state, she be like, "What state? Where we at?" I get my own room. That's
That's
awesome.
awesome. That's awesome.
That's
That
all
is-
we want as comedians.
Yeah.
We want people.
We're just
to follow
really
us
sad
and-
people
Yeah.
who need to be loved.
No, you're right, but don't tell them.
We're friendly. We're just friendly.
That's right.
All. We like
That's
all.
right.
We like all our
We
friends.
want to share our love through our jokes and our.
Thank you,
and
thank you
life
so much,
experiences.
Josie. Thank you so
You're
much
welcome so
for
much.
sitting
Thank
on
you
the
so much for
podcast.
having me.
Thank you, Minda, for being my co-host. Thank
Yeah.
you, Sarah, for helping out tonight,
Ryan
and
coming in with all
Ryan
the
for
ringers.
coming in with all the good stuff. And this has been another episode of On the Road with Dr. Brian. Thanks.
Nice.
Bye bye.
I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. Blues, women, and booze. I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. I'm an asshole, I'm